What are you looking at, butthead?
Hello, Denny. All right, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I literally just got back from seeing The Room. I have no idea where to start with this movie. Um, this is the most ridiculous movie I think I've ever seen. So it's from 2003, but it seems like it was filmed in like 1992. It's notoriously known as one of the like worst movies ever made. It literally is. Acting, script, dialogue, technicality, the way it's directed, everything is bad. It's so bad. But it has a huge cult following because it's so bad that it's good. That's really funny. And I just saw it at the theater, the Alamo, and it was literally almost a completely sold out theater. It's so funny. And I got in, and people were quoting the movie right away. A lot of in jokes, which I'll get to a little bit later. But people were starting right away, and I didn't get half of them because I hadn't seen the movie before. And people literally go to this multiple times. They watch it all the time, and it's a blast. It's so fun. But I guess I'll try. I'll try to explain the plot. So this is written, directed, and stars a guy named Tommy Wiseau, a very strange character. I'll get into some of the interesting trivia later about him. But he plays a main character named Johnny. He's supposedly a successful banker, and he has a girlfriend, a future wife. They don't say fiance; they say future wife or future husband. His future wife is Lisa, and so they live together, and they're gonna get married soon, supposedly. But then Lisa, for some reason or another, starts an affair with Johnny's best friend Mark, and that's the main plot. But there's a lot of other stuff that happens. I can't get into all of it. It'd take forever. Um, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be laughing the whole time because this movie's so ridiculous. Um, but yeah, you have to. There's no way to explain the acting of this movie, or even explain like the physical characteristics of this guy, Tommy Wiseau. You just have to see it. There's no other way of just trying to explain it. It's pretty crazy. But so yeah, that's like the main plot is Johnny and Lisa are supposed to be getting married. Lisa has a weird relationship with her mom who always pops in randomly. They have a neighbor named Denny, which is my opening line there. He's like a young kid that's looks up to Johnny like a dad for some reason. Everything is just horribly explained. They have a bunch of random friends that pop in all the time, and the acting's just horrendous. So, I mean, literally the whole time I watched this movie, the crowd was just making jokes, and so I probably heard half the dialogue, but it doesn't really matter. This is a movie you watch like multiple times with a big group, and just laugh your ass off the whole time. So it was really fun. A couple of things that they do and that we were doing is you get spoons. You get a bunch of plastic spoons when you get in. And anytime you have a prop like this that you throw around, it's fun. But I didn't even catch it at first because people just started throwing the spoons, and so you just start throwing them anyway. And then finally, the person next to me, they were really into it. There's a couple that I was sitting next to one girl next to me. She hadn't seen it either, but we were just playing along, doing whatever. The other couple next to me, they had seen it tons of times because they were kind of starting a lot of the gags or whatever that people play along with and just quoting stuff the whole time. And so they pointed out to me there's the little table, and there's literally a framed picture of a spoon. It's just a single spoon. And so every time it's on screen, everybody throws the spoons. That's really fun. And I guess I guess a couple of things. So it's called The Room, and I don't think this is the reason, but the majority of the movie takes place in one room of an apartment. And I guess Tommy Wiseau thought that because it's all taking place in this one area, there needed to be a lot of establishing shots that it's in San Francisco. And so there's just tons and tons of like skyline footage of San Francisco, mostly in the day. There's like one or two at night, so that was pretty funny when that popped up. And then another thing that we did is so they want to make sure you know this is San Francisco, right? So they show the Golden Gate Bridge multiple times, and whenever they do a pan across, like real slow. And so every time they start showing the Golden Gate Bridge, everybody starts cheering. Everybody's like, "Go, go, 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 go!" And then if they make it to the other end, everybody's like, "Yeah!" And everybody cheers. It's really funny. But a couple times they don't make the pan all the way across. I was like, ah. And I didn't get that right away at first when I started either, but it happens like 3 or 4 times, and so I got what was going on. That one was really funny. So you got the spoons and the bridge; those are some good ones. I mean, then everybody's just quoting just random quotes, so that's funny. Um, there are about 3 or 4 sex scenes. I mean, there's sex scenes in the movie, and there's nudity and stuff, and they are horrendous. This is the worst thing you could ever imagine a sex scene being. It's like, okay, this is what I thought of when I saw this. It's like, so you have 2 adults, but they have the sexual knowledge of about a 10-year-old. And that's what they're doing. It's like the most uncomfortable and awkward thing ever. I was like, what am I doing? I don't know. Oh my god, it's hilarious. And there's the first one's really long, and the second one's really long too. But I guess the actress, understandably so, the guy Tommy Wiseau didn't have like a closed set, so like a bunch of people were there watching. You usually have a closed set for a sex scene when there's nudity and stuff, but it's an open set, so you're feeling uncomfortable. So the second sex scene that they have is literally footage from the first one, and it's extremely obvious. And then there's one later, 2 other ones later, and they're just as awkward and strange, and literally don't make anatomical sense in any way. So those are funny. And then another theme throughout the movie is playing football for some reason, and they're usually about 2 feet apart and tossing a football. And there's one great scene where they're playing football in tuxedos, and you think it's because they're getting ready for Johnny and Lisa's wedding, but it's not. They just have tuxedos on for some reason. And so that was another thing. Some people were passing a football around in the theater. Oh my god. That's so funny. You have to see this like with a crowd. I mean, it might be fun to watch it like in a group at home, but I doubt it. Like, you have to see this in a theater with a group of people that know what they're doing. So yeah, just a couple of the technical things that I saw and that I read about, just to kind of point out how bad the movie is. There's one piece of trivia here. It says it was shot simultaneously in 35 millimeter film and also high definition video. And Tommy Wiseau was confused about the differences between the formats, so he used both cameras on the same mount. And then he also purchased the cameras instead of renting them, as you usually would making a movie. And you can, it's really funny because a lot of times the movie's really out of focus and everybody in the crowd yells, "Focus!" And then a couple times when the sex scene started, people are saying, "Unfocus!" because it's awkward. So that was really funny. And it says that Tommy Wiseau claims to have financed the film by importing and selling leather jackets from Korea, but he refuses to further elaborate on this. And so apparently he was taking this as like a very serious movie. He thought he was making something like phenomenal. And the guy that was kind of hosting the movie tonight said that there was a story that once the movie was done, Tommy got people together from like the Academy, like the Oscars, to screen it for him. Like, he was seriously trying to submit it, and everybody that was there left. Probably, I'm sure, early on in the movie. So it's kind of a weird. It has a really interesting like backstory as well. There's a guy named Greg Sestero, who's the actor that plays Mark. He wrote a book about the movie, and it's like a bestseller because it gives you all the behind the scenes dirt. And this Tommy Wiseau guy is just like really strange and weird and fascinating character. So, um, so yeah. Uh, I don't know. I'm sure they're missing some other things that were happening or that I thought about, but I wanted to get this recorded. So other movies that are in this category, so like good bad movies. They're so bad that they're good. The one that I've seen is Miami Connection, which is really good. It's really bad, but it's really good because it's bad. I saw that in the theater for people. That was fun. And then the other two big ones that are always mentioned with The Room are like Troll 2 and Birdemic, which I have not seen. And and now after seeing two of these movies, the really bad movies, with a theater, a group of people, a full of people, I want to wait to see those if I can as well because it just makes it so much more fun and interactive and everything. Um, I was gonna give this, if I was just giving it a straight rating, I would give it like a zero because it's awful. But the fact that it's so fun and so bad that you can laugh at it the whole time, and you kind of have to watch it multiple times to kind of even get what's going on. Um, so obviously, it has rewatchability. So I was gonna give it a pretty high rating, but then it's really long. Towards the end, it was just kind of dragging on. Um, so yeah, it's about 100 minutes, which is I mean it's only an hour and 40 minutes, but it felt like it was 2 hours and 15 minutes. It felt really long. So I guess I don't know. I guess thinking about it now, I thought it was a lot longer than it is. I'm looking at the time right now, and it seemed like it was way longer. But just because of that, and I could even tell because of the crowd. People's jokes were waning towards the end. Maybe everybody just got burnt out at the beginning, making so many jokes. But you kind of feel that the length, and it doesn't help that the movie's awful. So I'm giving it a 4. I give it a 4 out of 5, and that's all based on the hilarity factor. But I would definitely recommend seeing this 100%. And if you can, see it with a group of people in the theater. Like they played this, I think, every month here in Kansas City, and they hadn't played it in a while, but now they brought it back. So do that if you can. Otherwise, maybe just try to get a big group of friends to watch it and have some drinks and just make jokes the whole time. It's funny. You will not be disappointed, that's for sure. Um, so yeah, I guess to sign off, I'll say, "You're tearing me apart." You'll get that if you see it.